The first car on our list will shock you. Want to know why? This car could run on tequila. Sounds cool, right? The 1963 Chrysler Turbine is one of the most fascinating and unconventional cars in automotive history. It was a bold experiment by Chrysler to explore gas turbine engines as an alternative to traditional internal combustion engines. Want to know the power of the car after hearing this? Well, the engine produced 130 horsepower and 425 pound-feet of torque with a red line of 44,500 RPM. The car, owned by Jay Leno, has an estimated value of $415,000, making it a rare and exotic car. Did you know that Jay Leno is one of the exclusive owners of a rare 1963 Chrysler? That's right. He's among the selected few in the world to have this incredible classic car in his collection. How amazing is that? A car whose sleek and futuristic body was designed by Ghia, an Italian coach builder. It featured a two-door hardtop design with a jet-age aesthetic, including turbine-inspired taillights and unique styling cues. The car had a very limited production run of 55 prototypes, of which 5 were test mules, making only 50 available to the public. Moving on, we have a direct descendant of the legendary Ford GT40, the car that famously dominated Le Mans in the 1960s. Imagine a stunning design that harmoniously blends function and aesthetics. With its eye-catching butterfly doors, generous air intakes, and a sleek teardrop-shaped cockpit, crafted to minimize drag. This car doesn't just turn heads, it leaves a lasting impression. The 2017 Ford GT is a modern supercar that redefined Ford's performance capabilities, blending advanced aerodynamics, innovative engineering, and stunning design. It's a direct descendant of the legendary Ford GT40, the car that famously dominated Le Mans in the 1960s. The Ford GT was a model with immense power and was a performance-oriented car. Under the hood, the Ford had a 3.5-liter twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6 engine, which has the ability to produce 647 horsepower and 550 pound-feet of torque as well. The car had a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, which made the shifting of the car lightning fast. This gave the car a top speed of 217 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time in just 3 seconds, making it one of the fastest production cars ever built by Ford. Imagine a stunning design that harmoniously blended function and aesthetics. With its eye-catching butterfly doors, generous air intakes, and a sleek teardrop-shaped cockpit crafted to minimize drag, this car doesn't just turn heads, it leaves a lasting impression. Originally priced at around $450,000, the Ford GT is now a sought-after collector's car in Jay's garage, with values often exceeding $1 million in the secondary market. Next on the list is the most expensive car in Jay's garage. McLaren, known for its racing heritage, shifted gears in 1992 when designer Gordon Murray persuaded team principal Ron Dennis to create the McLaren F1, a road car that celebrated its Formula One victories. In a standout run, racer Andy Wallace achieved an average of 240.1 miles per hour on a VW test track, making the F1 the fastest naturally aspirated production car ever made, with only 108 units produced. Jay Leno acquired the first one imported to the U.S., originally valued at around $12 million, and it remains the most expensive car in his collection, which he has called just about perfect. Under the hood, it had a 6.1-liter naturally aspirated BMW S72 V12 engine, which could produce a horsepower of 620 brake horsepower and torque of 480 pound-feet. It provided the driver a unique driving experience due to its central seats and 2 passenger seats flanking it, giving it more speed. Moving on, we have a company that makes the fastest car in the world with unique designs as well. The next car is a hypercar. Or is it? This car has a secret behind its power. Any guess what it could be? Let's find out. The McLaren might be rare, but it is nothing compared to the CCXR, because only 3 units of this car were ever to be built. It wasn't just the staggering top speed that made the CCXR stand out. The CCXR tried to give all 3 of its owners a little more miles by making it the first supercar to run on E85 ethanol fuel, and the first supercar to try and blend performance and green technology. However, did you know that this car was personally given to Jay Leno by Christian von Koenigsegg? The owner of the Swedish company himself brought the car to Leno. The CCXR is one of the most powerful hypercars ever to be built, with a 4.8-liter L twin supercharged V8 engine, producing a staggering 1,018 horsepower on standard gasoline and up to 1,064 horsepower when using E85 biofuel or ethanol. The torque output of this car is impressive, giving about 696 pound-feet. With this much power, this car could do 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, reaching up to 250 miles per hour. Wondering what could possibly top this one? Well, it's none other than the Lamborghini Miura. Widely regarded as the world's first supercar and a groundbreaking icon of automotive history. This car, which was introduced in 1966, revolutionized car design and performance, establishing Lamborghini as a leader in the exotic car world. The Miura, which is owned by Jay, is an early production car. It was the 127th Miura to be built and is in the hands of Jay Leno now. The Miura was powered by a 4-liter naturally aspirated V8, which was mounted just behind the driver's seat. Just imagine the heat the driver would face inside the car due to this. With a horsepower rating of 385 and a top speed of 171 miles per hour, it could easily do 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds, making it a pocket rocket. Designed by Martello Gandini at Carrozzeria Bertoni, the Miura features a sleek, sensual design with iconic elements like eyelash headlights and bold curves. The car's silhouette remains one of the most beautiful and timeless designs in automotive history. The engine layout of this car was a first of its kind, as it featured a mid-engine, which provided all the power to the rear wheel. Now we've reached the top 3 cars on our list, and in the 3rd place, we've got a steam car that could produce immense torque and set lap records. A car meant for title racing. Any guess which it might be? The Stanley Steamer played a remarkable role in early motorsports, with its entry into the 1906 Vanderbilt Cup marking a milestone in the history of steam-powered vehicles. The Vanderbilt Cup was one of the first major international automobile races held in the United States, showcasing cutting-edge automotive technology of the time. The car was designed and built by the Stanley Motor Carriage Company, founded by twin brothers Francis and Freeland Stanley. However, did you know that this vehicle experienced a deadly accident, but still managed to endure? And after a century, it ended up in the hands of Jay Leno. The Stanley Steamer featured a 2-cylinder steam engine and could produce immense torque instantly. Steam engines had fewer moving parts and could deliver high-power outputs for short bursts, making them competitive in certain racing scenarios. The car reportedly reached speeds of over 127 miles per hour, setting a land speed record in 1906. This particular piece, made by the Stanley brothers, was very exclusive, as only 2 were ever made. Now let's move on to the top 2. The Blastoline Special, also famously known as the Tank Car, is a one-of-a-kind custom-built vehicle built by Randy Grubb from the Blastoline brothers. This massive, eye-catching car became iconic after being purchased and driven by Jay Leno, who often showcases it as part of his legendary car collection. Under the hood of this custom-built beast lies a 29.4-liter V12 engine that could produce a power of 810 horses and a torque of 1,560 pound-feet. The car had a unique design. The chassis was custom-built, designed to handle the immense size and weight of the tank engine. The body features polished aluminum with an Art Deco-inspired design, giving it a vintage, futuristic aesthetic. Another cool thing about this car is that it is a one-of-one piece. But did you know that when Jay found this car, it had no rear brake, headlight, or turn signals? And the power of the car was so immense that just a light step on the acceleration made the chassis twist. The car's appearance in Jay's garage made it an iconic piece to lay their eyes on. The last one is an absolute rocket. The LCC Rocket, a car weighing under 800 pounds, with a snug two-seater and a beastly engine tucked in the back, sporting the coolest tech of its time. Only 55 of these cars were ever made, so they're pretty rare. Jay Leno had called the Rocket as the size of a coffin, but it's actually a lot of fun to drive with its Yamaha 1000cc engine. The car was able to produce a horsepower of 147 brake horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. It's a pure joyride, making every twist and turn feel like a dance. If you get a chance to steal one car from Jay's garage, which would it be? Comment down your answers and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content.